Hey, mommy. Hey, mama. Hey, Fifi. You ready to get back home?
I'm hoping that the police will get to him before then, where he won't be able to hurt anybody else.
The search is on for the shooter who killed 24-year-old Maya Smith. Still no motive for this heartless crime as police continue to look for the gunman, and the family asks this of the person responsible.
We want the person that did hurt her to turn himself in.
24-year-old Maya Smith was a vibrant, kind, genuine, and generous person who was a rock to the people in her life. One of her greatest joys was when she became a mom to her 2-year-old daughter. She meant the world to her. She had a smile that would brighten any room and a beautiful soul that everyone felt whenever she was in your presence. Maya worked at Old National Bank as a customer service representative, but was going back to school and taking business courses with the goal of perhaps starting her own business one day. She had an extremely close relationship with her family, who considered her a free-spirited diva who enjoyed fashion, music, and dancing, especially at church as a praise dancer. Maya recently spent some much-needed quality time with her family for the holidays. No one could have ever imagined the chain of events that would soon unfold. Around 12:21 a.m. on January 8th, Joliet police responded to a report of a parking complaint in an alley west of the 1200 block of Clement Street in Joliet, a city roughly 45 minutes outside of Chicago. Upon closer inspection of the vehicle, they would find an unresponsive woman in the front seat of the vehicle suffering from multiple gunshot wounds and a baby girl in the back seat. The victim was identified as 24-year-old Maya Smith, who was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. She suffered roughly 8 gunshot wounds to her body, including 5 to her face. Maya's 2-year-old daughter, who remained in the back seat, strapped inside of her car seat for at least 5 to 6 hours, was found with no apparent physical injuries. The child was transported to Ascension St. Joseph's Medical Center for a medical evaluation. Upon release from the hospital, she was then placed in the care of other family members. A close friend of Maya says that she was planning to work food delivery that night, which could explain why she was in her car. The murder was captured on video surveillance near the perimeter of the property for the South Side Civic Club, and Joliet police reviewed the video cameras as part of their homicide investigation. Detectives quickly identified Maya's on and off again boyfriend, 48-year-old Jermaine Manley, as a suspect, as he could be seen on video as a passenger in Maya's vehicle right before the murder. It is unclear exactly when the two broke up. However, it is important to note that Manley is not the father of Maya's 2-year-old daughter. Patch News, a news resource based out of Illinois, revealed a look into Manley's chilling past. More than 20 years ago, the Chicago Tribune published several crime stories about Manley, then 26 years old, after the Bolingbrook resident was arrested on multiple felonies, including reckless homicide. The Tribune reported that Chicago police stopped Manley's car at 35th Street and King Drive after he ran a red light. When the officers approached the vehicle after the traffic stop, he sped away and drove through another red light at 33rd and State Streets, killing 76-year-old Reverend Charles Shine and his 72-year-old wife, a retired Chicago public schools teacher. The Chicago Tribune headline from November 10, 2001 declared, "Driver and crash that killed 2 lacked a license." The state's largest newspaper revealed that Manley's driver's license was already revoked 2 different times, yet he continued driving anyway. The elderly couple who were killed by Manley in the Chicago wreck were coming from an anniversary worship service at the Hamlet Isom Christian Methodist Episcopal Church on West Division Street, where Charles Shine was the West Side Church pastor. After Manley slammed into the couple's vehicle, killing them, Chicago police found several cans of Old English 800 malt liquor inside of his vehicle. He was nearly twice the legal limit. He was charged in Cook County with reckless homicide and aggravated DUI. He also had previous convictions during the 1990s in Cook County for escape and resisting a police officer, and from DuPage County for obstruction of justice and a felony weapons charge. Following his reckless homicide conviction, a Cook County judge sentenced Manley in June of 2002 to 15 years in prison. Documents indicate that Manley was released on parole from the Lincoln Correctional Center around 2014. He also had a 1999 felony conviction from DuPage County for felon in possession of a gun. Manley grew up in the Romeoville and Bolingbrook area. The Chicago Tribune reported in 2001 that Manley, as a teenager, was convicted in 1993 of criminal sexual abuse and received a sentence of 2 years probation, at which he violated that probation in 1995. Following his DuPage County conviction from 1999, Manley served 13 months in prison at the Illinois River Correctional Center before being paroled in June of 2000. In January 2001, Manley was charged in Will County with battery against his wife. The criminal complaint stated that Manley grabbed his wife and held her down on January 24, 2001. That crime, however, was eventually dismissed in light of Manley being prosecuted for the more serious reckless homicide-related crimes in Cook County. 4 months before Manley's reckless homicide in Chicago, Manley's wife in Romeoville filed for divorce in Will County, indicating that her husband's whereabouts were unknown. His most recent address at the time was Pinckneyville, Illinois, where he was in prison. She also stated that they got married 1 year earlier in July of 2000, and that Manley had been guilty of extreme and repeated mental and physical cruelty without cause or provocation on her part. A Romeoville woman filed an order of protection against Manley in 2020. The woman accused him of Facebook harassment and of sending her pictures of a rifle he just purchased as well as bullets. That petition was also dismissed for reasons unknown. Manley's legal troubles include a pending case from a Milwaukee credit company accusing him of owing them nearly $5,700. It is unclear whether or not Maya was aware of Manley's past prior to dating him. Following the late-night homicide, Manley reportedly grabbed a ride from a friend and went to their home before taking an Uber back to his home in Bolingbrook. A few days after the murder, Manley was taken into custody on the southeast side of Chicago. A family member expressed thanks for the Joliet Police Department's investigation of the case, noting that the gruesome murder scene had an impact on police officers as well. A close friend who considered Maya a sister after losing her own sister described the impact that the tragic loss has left on her as well.
Maya was so beautiful. Maya was a person who loved people. She didn't deserve this at all. The heart of that person to be able to shoot someone in front of a child. We're all surprised, we're hurt. It's a thing where, all of us are crying, and we just wish this didn't happen.
She was very, very picky with who can take care of her daughter. I love that about her. It was like she always wanted her safe all the time. She was a genuine person. She was very sweet, so sweet.
Maya's funeral took place on January 14th at Joliet's Mount Zion Baptist Church in Joliet, Illinois. The Joliet police chief released a statement saying, "In my 28 years in law enforcement, this is one of the most heinous acts that I've encountered. I'm extremely proud of our detectives who have worked around the clock to bring this coward to justice. I hope this quick arrest provides comfort to the family of Miss Smith during a time of such unspeakable loss." Jermaine Manley was arrested and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. He remains in the Will County Adult Detention Facility, where he is being held on a $5 million bond.